Okay, so you're toxic in Twitch chat and you get banned out of Overwatch. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa. So this could be a future that we're looking at. Now, you guys know that a few days ago, I reported on this. This is the Overwatch Contenders update to the moderation system in the game. Now, the way this works is quite simple. Basically, you're going to have to link your Blizzard account, so your Battle.net account, with your Twitch account to be able to speak in the stream for Overwatch Contenders. Now, there's a lot of you guys out there, and I noticed in the comments in the video that I made the other day, which sort of glossed over this topic, and on Twitter, going, well, I don't watch Contenders, this doesn't really affect me, blah, blah, blah. But what we've got to think is why Blizzard are doing this and what would force them to do it, and the ramifications, so what this means for us as an audience of the game going forward into the future. So, for Contenders, like I said, what they're doing is making you link your account, your Battle.net account, with your Twitch account to chat in the Contender stream, right? So Contenders isn't really that big for viewership. It's not like it's getting 50,000 plus concurrent viewers. It gets a few thousand if it's lucky. EU and NA regions, that is. I think China probably gets a bit more. Korea, I don't actually know the full Korean stats because on Twitch they're obviously streaming on other channels and stuff, so whatever. But this isn't like it's the main Overwatch League stream. But the danger is this actually goes onto the main Overwatch League stream, which I believe it will. So let's just round this argument out and take a look at the, I guess, reasons why Blizzard would do this to begin with. And then we'll talk about what this means for us as gamers and people who are actually watching the streams on Twitch. And then we'll discuss some of the reasons why this is a very kind of touchy subject. Okay, so why would Blizzard do this? Well, it's really, really simple. If you go onto the Overwatch League website and you go to the partners page, you will notice there is a list of very big brand names there. Now, this is pretty unique when it comes to esports, especially esports leagues, of which Overwatch League, well, obviously is. Normally, you might get a big sponsor. You might get like an Intel. But the thing with Intel is what's known as an endemic sponsor. That means it's inside the system of esports anyway. What Overwatch League is trying to do is get the non-endemic companies to come in. So companies like Toyota, that's a huge, huge sponsor. Sour Patch, pretty big sponsor. T-Mobile, big sponsor. And of course, they do have Intel and Omen by HP as their other headline sponsors. But the two key ones there are Toyota and Sweet and Sour. Now, if you remember for the Overwatch League finals, they also had Spotify and some other very unique, high-profile sponsors that came online just for a certain sort of activation period. Now, with these sponsors comes a certain degree of liability, right? Now, we know Twitch chat is stupid. We don't even care about Twitch chat, whatever. If it's got emotes being spammed in it, who cares? Who does care is Overwatch League, and they'll ban the Pepes like they did before. And the reason why they've done that is they don't want their big, high-profile sponsors seeing that kind of content. Even though we know it doesn't really mean anything, but whatever, it's okay. It's supposed to be a stupid far-right symbol for something or whatever. Who knows, right? We don't even care about that because we just, it's a Pepe. Who cares, right? Anyway, people watch that from maybe your Toyotas, your Sour Patch, even your Intels and your T-Mobile, obviously. And they're like, why is that associated with your broadcast that we're sponsoring on? Thereby it associates us with that message, and we don't want to be there, so get us the hell away from this. So that's why we end up with the stupid moderation that we had of certain words and certain emotes. Now, we fast forward to this new implementation. This is taking it onto another level. What this is saying is, yeah, you can go in the Twitch chat. Yeah, you can say what you like to say, but what will probably happen to you is we will ban you from Overwatch. Now, it doesn't say that. Let me just categorically say, it does not say that in the Contenders update. It doesn't say they'll take action against you. But here's the thing. Why even link the account? Because then suddenly they can trace you. Maybe you've got a different name on Twitch to your in-game name. So if you're being really toxic in the chat in Twitch, right, which you shouldn't be doing, whatever, but if you're doing it or doing things which are maybe not great, and then Blizzard could maybe Google your name. I know this is a really stupid thing, but if they Googled your name and gone, oh, it's Stylosa in the Twitch chat, and oh, it's Stylosa in the game, let's ban him. But they don't know if those two are connected. They will now, because you'll have to connect your Battle.net account. So they'll be like, okay, this guy comes into Twitch and is a bit of a pain up the ass, so we're going to get rid of him. You might play the game perfectly fine. He might just be an idiot in Twitch chat, because it's Twitch chat. You get what I'm saying, guys? But this is the big issue with all of this, right? It's not about Twitch. It's not about what we want to do. It's not about freedom of speech. It's not about anything to do with that. It's about sponsors not seeing iffy comments next to the thing they're sponsoring. And they're sponsoring it for a lot of money. I mean, we know Twitch is a really big... I mean, it's a $90 million deal with Overwatch League, which is a big deal. Let's not beat around the bush there. That's a big, big deal. Some people were maybe saying that. There's elements of, yeah, if you don't give us this money, Twitch, then won't allow any of our Blizzard games to be streamed on your platform. I don't know whether that's true or not. I mean, I only really know in relation to Overwatch League, and it's a big deal. So that means that Twitch are looking for ways to protect that in a way, and one of those ways is making sure you're not overly toxic in the chat. Now, how do you control Twitch chat? There's two ways of doing this. The first way is you just lock it down completely. I believe Magic the Gathering use the subsystem as well, so you have to sub to actually speak in the chat, which is a little bit strange, right? Why would you want to sub to speak in the chat for an event which you kind of don't have to pay to watch anyway? You get what I'm saying? It's a bit weird. I'm not really the biggest fan of that. I mean, sub-only chat for certain streamers might be a good idea, but for an event, it's a bit weird, right? The other way of looking at this is you do it this way, which is you make the anonymous Twitch user suddenly somebody who you can identify and take action against on your platform. But the big issue here is this even... I don't want to say is it ethical, right? But this doesn't really sit very well with me because, firstly, don't let me get this wrong here. Let me make a statement. I don't think you should be in Twitch spamming the chat with pointless crap. I don't think you should be saying things you know are going to cause a reaction, or you're being an idiot for the sake of being an idiot. You shouldn't really do that, right? You shouldn't do that in Overwatch when you play the game, or any other game that you play. The thing is, people will do that, and it doesn't really matter. It's harmless, right? Who cares? But it's not harmless because it might end up with T-Mobile going, you know what, Blizzard, we don't want to be your sponsor anymore because we've seen this in the chat, and that's not great. It was like the whole XQC thing where a certain emote was spammed in the chat. Yeah, I know XQC didn't do that on purpose, whatever. It's just like, these things happen. You know, there's a certain presenter on the screen. It causes a lot of backlash. I can imagine things like that really, really cause issues with the big money sponsors. So, let's wrap this up. Is this a good thing for Overwatch? And where does this go? And what does this mean for us as viewers of Overwatch League? It means that they're testing this system out on Contenders. The only reason they would test it out on Contenders is because they want to roll it out to Overwatch League. So test the functionality before the league begins, then introduce it with Overwatch League. When you link your account, you will be able to talk, but if you say something that maybe is not great, maybe the auto mod in the Twitch chat bans you because you're spamming lol or something, you know, completely innocuous. But then that puts some sort of a flag against your Overwatch account, and maybe Blizzard take action against you. And here's the other thing. Should they even be thinking about doing that? You know, if you've paid for the game and you're perfectly fine playing the game, but maybe you've done something in Twitch chat which isn't deemed great by the overlords of Blizzard's sponsorship, then they take action against you. Is that right? Is that fair? I don't know. This is a really iffy situation, and we're gonna have to wait and see how this actually turns out. But I fully believe what we're going to see is this rollout into Overwatch League. It gives them the ability to take action against you if you do certain things in the chat in the game. Is that going too far? You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I know this is a bit of a touchy subject. I mean, my personal opinion on this is you shouldn't really be spamming things into the Twitch chat, which is not great. But also, should they really be able to just take action against you because of something you've said in a stream in the game? This is very, I mean, this is something else. I'll leave the video on this. Twitch, you can just watch the stream and get rid of the chat. So why they feel the need to heavily moderate the chat is questionable. So let me know, guys. What do you think about all of this in the comments below? I think these comments are going to be pretty good because this is so iffy. Like, it doesn't sit well with me, and it is like yet another thing which sort of makes Overwatch League look a little bit more controlling. You know, a little bit more like, yeah, we've got all the control. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I mean, there may be some minor positives to take out of this as well. I guess I should just say this before I end the video, where because you're linking your Battle.net account with Twitch, then maybe certain things could happen. So if you're watching a certain number of Overwatch League games, then you start getting loot boxes in game, or it can check your profile in game, and it's like, hey, Sty's a Reinhardt player, so if he, I don't know, watches Reinhardt players or comments during Reinhardt plays, then he gets a reward. So there are maybe other things that they could do, and maybe they do something like that in the future to, or at least when Overwatch League Season 2 rolls out, to lessen the impact of this. Actually, we can see What you're saying in Twitch chat is connected to your Battle.net account, so we know who you are in the game. So if you dare say something naughty, like a naughty little boy in the Twitch chat, well, we're going to take action against you in the game, which is the ultimate ending of this. This must be what it's designed to do, because why track players? All right, guys, I'm Stylosa. This is you. Last, if you enjoyed the video, then like the video. I'm absolutely freezing cold. It's why I've got my hat on my head, and I'm going to go back into my house and turn the heating on and actually sit by the fire before I freeze to death and die. Catch you guys in the next one. Toodaloo.